Welcome back to another edition of Real Riders Ride. I'm your host, The Spoiler. And today we have Dawn here. Dawn rides a motorcycle, and she's part of one of the motorcycle rights organizations. She's going to give you a little valuable information about not only herself, but the organization and the movement as a whole. Dawn, why don't you introduce yourself to the folks, and we'll get started.
I'm Dawn Riba. I'm the communications director for the Motorcycle Riders Foundation. I'm also an active member in ABATE of Minnesota.
Minnesota, that's where you're from. Okay. Now, how long have you been riding a motorcycle?
I have been riding a motorcycle since 1995.
95. Okay.
I took the motorcycle safety course
Okay.
in '95 and bought myself a motorcycle shortly after I passed the test. Started riding on a 1200 Custom Sportster and had that till 2003.
Okay. Now, here's a question I ask every biker. How did you get into riding a motorcycle? What, did somebody introduce you to it?
Well, my husband.
Okay.
We were dating at the time, and actually, at the time, he was. So I would ride with him. It was before there was cell phones and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I just thought we were camping one weekend, and I just looked at him. I said, you know, what would happen if something? What would I do if something happened to you?
Gotcha.
Where I can't get on that bike and ride.
Right.
That bike,
right.
you know,
Right.
that's too big for me. I can't do that.
Okay.
You know.
I'm assuming he's had a big dresser or something?
No, he was riding a Fat Boy at the time.
Oh, Fat Boy. Okay.
But I couldn't get it off the kickstand. I couldn't ride that bike, you know.
Right.
And I said, you know, that's not a good situation. I need to be able to. If you broke your leg, what would I do? And so I took the class, and I took the class really just for that purpose. If I'm on the back of the bike and something happens,
Okay.
and I loved it, and I loved riding,
and
I just right exactly, and so you know, a few months I passed the test, and at the time my dad had an old 70 something Honda,
Right.
you know, and Honda 360. So I took that from my dad. I started riding that and rode that for a summer, and then put my name on a list and ordered my Sportster.
Ah, gotcha.
So
Now, what got you into the motorcycle rights type movement?
well, and at the time, my husband Todd was involved in
Okay.
ABATE of Minnesota,
Okay.
and so most of the friends that we rode with at the time were involved with.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of a family affair.
Kind of, yeah. And if you know anyone in Minnesota, there's a lot of people that if you sit in Mac Backland's living room for long enough, he basically says, well, you can't come to my house unless you're an ABATE member.
So you get strung out.
Kind of. So we went to my first trip to Sturgis, and I wasn't a member yet, and basically I became a member when I got back. It was like, you can't keep riding with us if you're not a member. I was like, okay, I guess I'll join, you know. So
That's funny.
there are so many people in Minnesota that could tell you that exact same story.
Oh.
'Cause that's how he was back then. It was like, you're not a member yet? Well, you better do something about that.
You better do something about that, right? We're going to take care of that right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So now, what do you do in your capacity now? You're communications director?
So I'm the communications director for the Motorcycle Riders Foundation.
Okay.
So I manage we do a bi-monthly newsletter.
Okay.
So I manage our editor, any of our news alerts that go out.
Okay.
I manage all of those. And so I've been on the MRF board for about 3 years now.
Okay.
And
Now, can you tell us a little bit about Motorcycle Riders Foundation versus ABATE? Two different organizations.
Two different organizations. So the Motorcycle Riders Foundation actually takes their orders from the ABATE organizations at a state level.
Okay.
So we're here in Milwaukee at Meeting the Minds this weekend.
Sure.
And this weekend we just had legislative agenda meeting.
Okay.
So basically, all of the leaders, we had 35 organizations, state organizations in the
Okay.
room, and we went through our legislative agenda, and they voted on our legislative agenda to say, what do we want to keep, what do we want to, what do we need? Do we need to add anything to it? Do we need to remove anything
Sure.
from it? And so the state organizations actually set our agenda.
Of what your agenda is. So
Yeah.
you're saying we're having problems with this, that, or the other. We need a little bit on that. Then
Correct.
You go and lobby for that.
Correct.
Okay.
And it's a very much a grassroots organization.
Mm-hmm.
We lobby we have an office in DC.
Okay.
So we have an office manager in DC, and we have a full-time lobbyist in DC. So they are working for our members and our organizations every day.
And that's why I was trying to separate the two, but yet show people how they work in conjunction with each other.
Right. So we deal with everything at the national level,
Mm-hmm.
but we also, we have conferences to get the states together. The Thursday night, our kickoff to the conference, it's called Meet the Board, and it really should be called Meet the States, because what we do is we basically ask the states what's going on in your organization.
Okay.
And it's a great opportunity to find out what other organizations are, what other states are doing, what have they done,
Mm-hmm.
how are they getting it done.
Sure.
We heard about red light bills, we heard about right of way issues, and so it's a great opportunity, and that's what the MRF helps to facilitate. The communication between the states.
Sure.
We have member reps on the board. We have SMRO, State Motorcycle Right Organization reps. Okay. So they're in contact with our members and with the leaders of the state organization on a regular basis.
Now, what's the cost to be part of the Motorcycle Riders Foundation?
So our membership, we have a couple different. Well, we have many different membership levels. You can be an individual member.
Okay.
And so the individual membership is $30. It's an annual membership. That gets you the reports, which is our bi-monthly magazine.
Sure.
And then you'll be added to, you get all of our releases and all of our information. There's a patch and
right.
all that kind of stuff.
It keeps you informed of what's going on the
right.
level.
Right. And then we have a sustaining membership level, which is it's $100 level. So it's basically like a lot of our chapters are sustaining members, and that's it's a way for an individual or an organization to support the Motorcycle Riders Foundation. So and we also we take freedom fighter donations, and everyone on our board is active at their state level. Our board we don't really take any corporate dollars.
Okay.
Really?
Corporate funding, yeah. The big corporate machine.
Right. Yeah, we are a grassroots organization. Our members in the organizations that support us support. That's how we make it through.
So now the yearly conference here, it moves from one state to another every year.
Yep.
Okay. Same time every year?
Yep.
Okay.
It's usually the third weekend in September.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. So is there anything else that you want to impart with the folks out there in YouTube, and any kind of initiatives or something you'd like to see?
Well, I think a lot of the as I said, you sit and you listen to the state organizations and what's going on around the country.
Sure.
And we've really a lot of we have it pretty good. We really do, because when you look at 20 years ago, and you were fighting to just do what you wanted to do,
Right.
you know. And we have a lot of good freedoms, but we still need the support to continue those freedoms.
Sure.
And I think that there's a lot of complaints
Complacency.
complacency. Thank you. I just got my braces off. I'm learning to use my new tongue.
Oh, right. We're acclimated to that, right? I got you.
But there's a lot of there's a lot of advertising out there that shows you that you should put a helmet on your head, or you should dress like this, or you should dress like that and I think we need to you need to learn whether or not is that we just had a statistical program earlier, and he talked about how a lot of the stats that you see out there say if you're that helmet's not necessarily going to save your life.
Sure.
And I guess I say helmet because that's not necessarily our key issue.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one that we always get.
Sure.
That's the
Freedom
the
of
elephant.
choice.
It's the elephant in the room.
Right.
But I think that there's a lot of people that follow the system instead of saying, well, what do I need, or what's the they're not following the freedom
Right. They just told
system.
the line.
Right.
Right. They
Right.
just going along with it.
And so I just I just would like to see people kind of question.
Sure. Do I really need
Do
that?
I need this?
Right.
Why am I doing this? Why am I putting this day glow on? Is it helping me?
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's your choice and you're making that choice, and it's an educated choice.
Mm-hmm. With the correct data.
Right. Is it just because the salesman told me that this is the right thing to do?
Mm-hmm.
And on a personal level, that kind of stuff really just it kind of makes me crazy a little bit,
Sure.
Because like I said, I've been going to Sturgis for many years, and I see changes in people. It used to be that people came to Sturgis to ride free and to
have a good time. Right.
And the riders that I look around and I'm like, and you see what people are wearing, and you see and I'm just like, that's not what this looked like 10 years ago.
Right. Kind of a fashion statement.
And it's just it's interesting to see how people culturally are just following because all the ads have everybody's wearing this,
Mm-hmm.
so this is what I'm gonna wear. I'm a motorcycle. And
well, I told somebody the other day, I was just saying the bigger corporations, they do a masterful job at marketing
Yes.
specific things towards the buying public, and that's what a company's in it for, to make money. But it starts to make everybody kind of cookie cutter.
Right. Right.
So, and true enough, that's why I say we have to control our own media, so to speak.
Mhm.
Because if you don't, you'll be cookie cutter just
Right.
like everybody
Exactly.
else.
Exactly.
And that individualism will be lost. And
Right.
therefore, your rights get lost within that, because you're not an individual.
Right.
So.
Right.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, very interesting conversation. I appreciate you coming down and talking to me here.
Yeah, this is great. Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of the conference in our great state here in Wisconsin. So
Thank
that's
you much.
another edition of Real Riders Ride, and the spoiler will see you on the road.